Hello, history scholars. Mrs. Olson here. Today's lesson is titled Native Knowledge 360. Now, it's titled that because of the web page that we're going to use. Let's first start with our learning target, which reads that you are going to be able to use critical thinking skills to synthesize information learned from the text. So you're going to be using higher order thinking skills to synthesize information that you read. And synthesize means that you take information, you take something that you have learned, and you put it into a different form. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. So I just want to show you what you're looking at here. This is the front of a building, and it is the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian located in Washington, D.C. And so the resource, the website that we are going to be using today is from the Smithsonian's Museum of the American Indian. Okay, so here is the website, just so that you can see what it looks like. And kind of brings up the bottom of the page, but we're going to start at the top. So here's the Native Knowledge 360, and then it says, did you know? And there are a whole bunch of questions, okay? So let's pull up the assignment, which I already have done, okay? So here's the title, here is the learning target, and what I would like you to first do for your entry task is to define the word misconception. So you can pull up in Google, you can pull up online dictionary and then type the word misconception into the dictionary. Or if you have an actual printed dictionary and book form, you can look up the word misconception. And then you are just going to write the definition right here, okay? All right, so the directions. Well, you are doing really well on the assignment right now if you are watching the video, because that's number one. And if you have this page pulled up, you are already doing number two. Yay! The third one says that you are going to find a trusted person, a family member, a mentor, and what I would like them to be is 18 years or older. I want them to be able to have an adult conversation and share their knowledge with you about these questions regarding Native Americans, okay? And so here's the first part. So it reads that you will read and discuss the did you know questions with someone who is 18 years or older. There are 7 questions total. Talk with your trusted person about the questions. What are your answers? When you click on the plus sign, so the plus sign, here we go, then at the right of the question, it will reveal the Smithsonian's answers. Did your responses match up with the museum's? Okay, so on the first part, here it is again. Here's the top of the website. You and your trusted person, you guys are going to say, hey, do all Indians live in teepees? And then you will share your ideas about that question with your trusted person, and your trusted person will share their ideas about this question with you. So then you guys will have a discussion about it, and then after your little discussion is done, you can hit the plus sign and read what the Smithsonian Museum has said about that question. So remember, there are 7 total, and you guys are going to sit down and have an educated conversation about these questions regarding Native Americans, okay? So after you have these mini discussions that end up being a big conversation, in this area here, I would like you to write, to summarize what you guys learned about the questions from this website, okay? So write a few sentences that sum up what it is that you guys talked about and learned. On to part number 2. It says using the information from the Native Knowledge 360 page, write statements and one question according to the prompts below. So the first part of part 2, what are 3 new pieces of information that you learned from this page? So now your trusted person that you had the conversation with, they're out of the assignment now. You can tell them, thank you for having the conversation with me. Now I have to do this part by myself. So what are 3 new pieces of information that you learned from this page? So you'll write those there. What are 2 interesting facts that you learned? All right, so this is new pieces of info. These are 2 interesting things that you learned. And then you are going to write one question about the information from this page. So you can think of it as a question that you really want to know the answer to. So you guys read and talked about any of these things, and then in your mind, it led you to another question. So you can think about writing the question that way. Or if you don't have any real questions, then you can write a question based on the information that they provided here for you. So you don't have a question yourself, but you are creating a question based on the information that is already there. Okay. I think that is the end of the directions and all that I want to tell you. Make sure that you allot a good amount of time to have the conversation about part number 1. Make sure that whoever you are talking to, that they are 18 years or older, and that it's a good time for them to have the conversation, okay? So you do have to have the conversation first with your person, and then you can go on to part number 2. And always make sure that you thank them for helping to be part of your assignment and your learning. All right, guys, ask me questions if you have them. Bye.